everybody. Welcome. I'm Howie Howard from Mr. Furious Records. This week's musical adventure on Dat Fury Radio, new album from Softcore Syndicate. New album from Softcore Syndicate. All of My Everything and Another Inch.
A whole nother inch.
A whole nother inch. Forgive me. A whole nother inch. The title is so long it cut off in my folder view. But there we go. Guest Daniel Glascock. Softcore Syndicate is Daniel's solo project. Would you say?
Well, I back up Dirty Dick on the instrumentals. Dirty. It's really Dirty Dick's project.
Roger,
so I can't take 100% for it.
We're keeping up the kabuki. Got it. But yeah, fantastic new project. I was telling my lovely spouse just a minute ago in preparation that, I think this is my favorite Softcore Syndicate record. I'm willing to say that already.
I'm with you.
You keep refining, you and Dick, you keep refining the concept and the execution together and just keep developing like the core conceit of this project. Does it feel that way?
I mean, you would hope the latest thing of anything that you do becomes the best version of it. It's funny you say that though, because I mean, at the moment it's kind of, I don't envision another Softcore Syndicate album. Unless the bug really bites me. We're probably calling it quits with Dirty Dick here. So
interesting. Okay, I'm gonna sit with that for a minute. So you would say,
I know, big announcement, spilling the tea. I'm sorry, but
you'd say chances are under 50%.
Under 50% for a new thing, or under 50% that this is it?
Under 50% that Dirty Dick returns in the future.
I'm sure he'll wiggle his way into something later on. Never say never. It's not like the likelihood of it happening is higher than a Caius reunion, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Well, if you're under 50% for a full album, I'll go 50-50. I think this has proved to be a productive enough concept. I would not be surprised if, at some point, maybe in the far future, maybe there's a sci-fi kind of reincarnation.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm plugging all this into DraftKings as we speak. I mean, somebody's going to make some money off of this. But right. I just feel like the holistic totality of All of My Everything is kind of like the perfection of at least 10 or 12 years of work going into this, dating all the way back to when we were first playing this stuff live, and then it developing into this sort of like 80s pastiche boogie funk soul thing. It was really just an excuse for me to learn my instruments well enough to be able to imitate my heroes. And I think on this one, I think I nailed it. Not going to toot my synth horn preset too loudly, but I'm really proud of how it all came together. And I think it's a cohesive, everything that I could have hoped for. So it's All of My Everything and a whole nother inch.
Let's hear some of it on Dat Fury Radio.
Hey guys, how about a little music?
It began not long ago. You see, they wanted me to join their syndicate.
What sort of syndicate? What are they dealing?
Well, they're big on drugs, and they said they'd peddle my pretty bodies and prostitute.
That sounds vaguely obscene.
Oh, shit! Yeah, baby. Get it.
When you grow weary of the dreams you feel so dear, and now takes up your reflections on all
That's pretty blue. I don't always approve of this guy's lyrics, but
Yeah, well,
I'm with it on the concept.
we can't have Dick any other way. Like,
Yeah,
this,
it's got to be
it has-
kind of trashy.
it has to be this way. And
Yeah,
you know, if anyone out there is scandalized, we've got a long way to go, multiple inches. And yeah, this one is maybe not for your children if you're listening in the minivan.
yeah. I think maybe I should re-upload the artwork that I have with a good old-fashioned parental advisory sticker on there. That might, I don't know. It almost seems kind of chintzy at this point because it's almost gimmicky. Like,
You've earned it if you want it.
I guess, yeah.
One of the things that jumped out to me about this whole project, and you've always done a good amount of manipulation of Dick's vocals, but like the vocal manipulation and effects on this record are so extreme and so perfect and like well placed and fit within the songs. Like I
Thank you.
can't compliment enough like the vocal processing because it's heavy and it works.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was on the laundry list of things that we really wanted to accomplish with this one. Because like with a song like this, it kind of wouldn't be the same without all of the different effects and layers of the instrumentals. So, like, why wouldn't you treat the vocals the same way? That was kind of a regret I had on the first one, was that we wanted to do it kind of like when I went to Flat Black to mix it. Luke was very much leaning into the idea that we would use the same kind of vocal processing that they would have used in like the early 80s, which was, kind of like SOS Band and early Prince and stuff like that. A lot of dry vocals. And with this one, I'm like, by the time Prince even gets past Purple Rain, he's using Variac all the time on his vocals for the Camille style, like the higher pitch stuff. Erotic City, that's got a higher pitch to it. And plus, since we don't use tape machines for this, you have to find different ways to achieve that Variac sound. And like aside from the vocoding and the Variac usage, each song I feel like we maximized all our options as best we could. Stab and Wiggle later on in particular is I think a good example of that. This intro here features a sample from one of my favorite bands, Slave.
You ready?
They've got a little known album called Slave 88 that was on Ichiban Records. And it was just the core members of the band left over in New York studios, I think, fulfilling a record contract. And it's got some great drum work on it, drum machine work on it. And then Mark Adams is, of course, a bass god. A lot of the bass lines all throughout Softcore Syndicate wouldn't be the same without his influence on his finger work, his fingerprints all over everything. But that's the only actual musical sample that's used on the album.
Yeah. I was laughing that tap that ass is so perfect.
Well, yeah, like whenever you've got really repetitive music, like, electro funk or new jack or hip hop or that sort of thing, like the vocals, it's kind of like incumbent upon them to be as distinctive from moment to moment as you can get them. Mm-hmm. And if you can do like these like little little motifs or quotes or whatever with them, it really makes the colors pop on all the tracks.
What is this? Lin drum or what's the drums here?
Yeah, that's an LM1. Yeah, it's an LM1 sample set. On this one, I think I took it off of a modded Roland TR 626.
I don't know 626.
It was a budget Rompler drum machine that it was like a 12-bit Rompler drum machine that came out, I think, around the same time as the 707. It's a smaller form factor and a little bit more difficult to program.
Yeah.
But you can mod a chipset into it that's got DMX, Lindrum, LM1, and the 707 itself. So I did that for a time, and that several of the tracks on here have the Lin sounds from that.
Yeah, that snare sound is so Minneapolis with like the top end is almost a clap, but it's also got this thud in the low end.
Yes. Yeah. Well. Yeah. And plus, with those, for the punch of it, it's all about layering the sounds and then tuning them all right. So you got the snare and the rim and the clap all at once, and it's just this big fat slapping snare. I love the Lin. So
it's so good. The spirit of the project, I mean, obviously Prince and everything, but like I get a lot of Morris Day and the Time off of it too.
Well, yeah, I mean the
closely related, company, of course. Yeah.
I mean, the Star Company is Prince. Prince, I think it's not really an open secret, or it is an open secret at this point, or not even open, not secret is what I'm trying to say. Gotcha. That he just did all of those records.
Yeah.
Like even the amazing band members like Jam and Lewis and all that, like Prince still recorded, I think, the first 3 Time records by himself, and then Morris would come in and do vocals on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like those are, yeah, I mean, he is the Minneapolis sound. Later on, you can tell how it diverges whenever you get into the late 80s and he's more like resigned to his own like Fairlight work and stuff, you know, like Love Sexy and things like that.
Yeah. Jam and Lewis were just on the Questlove show this past week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
Really good conversation. They seem like they're doing really well. It was good to hear from them.
Yeah, they put out a record a couple years ago with a whole bunch of
they're doing like a residency in Vegas or something, and told a bunch of cool stories. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, like the story about how they got fired, which it was to do. They got stuck at an airport because of a snowstorm while they were recording SOS Band's Sands of Time. And that record is that is one of my favorite boogie records. I mean, it might be my favorite boogie record. It might surpass, you know, even the works of Prince, because every song on that record is just perfect. If you haven't heard Sands of Time, it's got The Finest on it, which I think is kind of like one of their biggest songs due to MF Doom sampling it. But yeah, just every track on there slaps. I'll link to it. Softcore Syndicate, Stab and Wiggle on Dat Fury Radio.
This is one of the first songs on here I can point out that I blatantly took the drum machine line from, and it's from Sugar Free by Juicy. which was like an answer to Matume's Juicy Fruit, which I also ripped off the drum line from that on another song.
On this project?
Yeah. There's about 4 songs where I deliberately like tried to I did interpolations of the drum machine lines with the drum machine itself.
Mm-hmm. How do you know when a Softcore Syndicate project is starting? Or are you just like constantly working on this stuff with Dick?
This has been going like all the time. Well, not all the time, but it's a track by track thing over, 10 years now. So,
oh wow.
All the tracking for this started almost like within a month of the release of the last one. So, and you'll notice with all the EPs that I put out and stuff, those are just sessions that happen in between. I had everything saved up for the first album. That was like 20 tracks, 24 tracks or something. And I even cut some. And then after that cycle was done with Angle of the Dangle, then I even Banana Boat on this one was started before Angle of the Dangle. So
okay.
It'll
yeah. And that's why, like, I hear you're ready to set this down for a while, maybe, but like, I'm not sure I'm buying that you're done.
Well, this is almost everything I've recorded for Softcore Syndicate.
So the decks are clear, at least.
The intention was to like, so I can move on to new things, and we can get into that later.
Sure.
Better pucker up the tuck in my Turkish pickle.
A couple months back, I don't remember what I was listening to exactly, but I wrote you a complimentary email about your use of the mod wheel, to accent synth lines. This is a good example of that.
Well, the song is about that. It's about your patch stabbing, and then you hit the mod wheel and it wiggles.
Wiggle it around.
That's the meta analysis of the song. It's definitely not about waving your erection around.
Mm-mm.
It's about hitting a stab chord on your synth and then pressing the mod wheel.
Yeah. Move it around in there.
That was I gave credit to Ralph Hutter from Kraftwerk for that little section there, because it's straight out of Trans-Europe Express. I made sure to credit anybody I ripped off on the instrumentals. So don't sue me. It's also Creative Commons, so please don't sue me. I'm not making money off of this.
Well, hopefully you'll make some money after you get that Dat Fury bump. So this is All of My Everything and a Whole Nother Inch is available at lovecraft.bandcamp.com, right?
That's correct.
And any other places, any physical media?
No, kind of. I'm getting to be of the mindset where if there's not going to be live play for the tracks, then it doesn't deserve a physical release.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because really it's not cost effective and environmentally useful. Not like I'm trying to be like super sustainable about all of it. It's just like, you're spending a lot of money to end up on the bottom of somebody's car floor.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that anybody who'd buy this is just some slob that litters in their car. It would mostly mean that it's a piece of plastic and paper that unless you're meticulous collector like myself and it's on a nice little shrine on the wall, I don't expect it to last very long. And just I don't know. It's kind of sad because I always envisioned as a kid that I just have, a big old shelf of all my releases to, sift through and stuff. But, that's what the digital world's for. As long as that lasts, it'll be good.
Yeah. And I imagine that like me, maybe you've maybe released much more music than you were envisioning at that time. I mean, when my band put out our first record, I was like, this is amazing. And we printed up 1,000 CDs and
yeah,
because that was the minimum at the time.
Yeah. And those were the deals.
So that's what
a
you could
spindle.
do. Exactly. And we sold a bunch of them, but I didn't imagine, I can't remember where we're at on Mr. Furious now, but we're in the mid 80s as far as release, the catalog goes. And there's stuff in the can, we're going to hit 100 before too long.
Yeah.
And I don't need, 3 spare boxes of each of 100 albums sitting in my basement.
To hump around every day or every time you do a show.
Yeah, or pay my friends to move.
Yeah. Yeah, God forbid. Thank you again, by the way. That was very kind of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's fun.
This is High Times 2.
Is that Stud coming?
What was the first Softcore Syndicate song or Dirty Dick song? What was that like?
Well, I guess at the beginning of it, it was, there was, way back in 2012, I had just moved to Lawrence and was experimenting with funk music. And our first gigs as a band were doing this sort of funk act, funk rock mixed with sort of post-punk. And then we eventually became Hyperbore, within a matter of a month or so. But I then was I knew there was still demand for the Softcore Syndicate stuff. So I rebranded it, and we'd put together a demo, a very bad, poorly recorded demo of early songs that included what became Mesmerized by Your Hips and some quotes from a few of these songs. So all of the first things that ended up in later on tracks. So All Up In It was one of the first, it was the second part of one of the first songs that was written for that. So it just sort of scatters.
But it gelled out of a live thing, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of like a live
Sam and Travis?
Yeah. Into a stoner metal thing, and then into a funk thing, and it splintered off for a year or so. It splintered off, and we did a few gigs with both, and eventually kind of gave up on the funk stuff because I was still busy experimenting and with synths and stuff, and then we just did Hyperbore and Hypermortal almost exclusively live from about 2016 on.
That's wild. I did not know that history, or that Hyperbore came out of the funk thing instead of being the original thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they all kind of happened at once because it was like gigs. We get gigs, and we do what was expected of us, and the first time, and then we get another gig, and we're like, oh, we're not doing that again. Why would we show up and be consistent with what people expect of us? We're artists, and so it was just like, we're going to do whatever we want.
Penis erection is one of the many unsolved evolutionary mysteries surrounding sexuality.
Something about this bass sound or whatever it is reminds me of Dar McBeam's.
Yes, you're right.
Is it related? Is there a patch or just an instrument or something that? What am I thinking of?
Well, yes. This was the B section of Slag Dragon off of Dark.
Yeah. It's totally the Slag Dragon sound.
Yeah, because I made it with ARP 2600 samples and a down-pitched 909, and that was the original song, and then I sampled that and cut it up and turned it into Slag Dragon.
Okay.
So the Slag Dragon bass and drums are that.
And then you cut that up further for this tongue play interlude?
No, that's just the original track with a OBX8 patch on it.
Gotcha.
Top of the line, cream of the crop. One of a kind, custom shop. Make to order, open order around. Pound for pound. Down on my knees, looking like a whack job. How can I help it? You make me slack job. All of the ram, how we
Incredible rhyme. Whack job to slack jawed.
I will admit I wrote some of these lyrics. That one came to me while I was driving the bus. So
Giving Dick a hand, as it were.
wag the dong.
What kind of robot are you?
This is from the show Lex.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever had Sci-Fi Channel when you were younger in the late 90s.
Way back, yeah.
What kind of robot are you?
I'm a robot that wants to live in your underpants.
I recently rewatched the pilot to that and was like, that's just too perfect for this song. Conceptually, a robot boyfriend song. You got a literal robot boyfriend in the movie.
That's got Softcore Syndicate all over it.
If you've ever seen the show, you could definitely draw a very short line between Lex and Softcore Syndicate.
I haven't seen Lex, and for whatever reason, the voice only makes me think of the robot guy from later seasons of what's the British sci-fi shit? Red Dwarf.
Oh, okay.
There's a robot guy that comes on in like season 3 or 4 and becomes like a main cast character, and something about that voice just makes me think of it. I can't think of the character's name right now.
I'd have to go deep diving on IMDb to check if it's the same person. Lex was kind of an obscure thing with it was like a Canadian-German co-production that just ended up in syndication on Sci-Fi after it got canceled by, I think, Cinemax or Showtime maybe.
I'm sure the connection is just in my head because I don't know Lex. But that's something about my memory and brain connections, and not. I'm sure it's not the same actors or like any actual connection in the real filmmaking world. Let's do one more. This is I'm Gonna Come Into Your Life.
You pronounced it right. That's
Did I?
Yeah.
Am I picking up what you're laying down?
You've been pleasuring me a lot lately. In that last position, your dong went really deep. I think your dong went all the way up and...
That's a little snippet from one of my favorite modern classics, Barb and Star, Go to Vista Del Mar. Just pants-shittingly funny. Highly recommended to anyone, everyone. Maybe not if you have like a heart condition. I don't know.
Good golly, Miss Molly, let me extend an apology. I've been neglecting to inspect your gynecology.
Aside from the lyrics, the bass and drums on this drum line was interpolation of two Cocteau Twins songs from Garland's. So Robin Guthrie programmed the original. I think he used a 808 on that one. And then the bass line was kind of inspired by Lately by Massive Attack from their first album, Blue Lines.
And what were the lyrics inspired by?
It's kind of like a hot chocolate pastiche thing, you know. I don't know. Have you heard that the wedding song by Hot Chocolate?
I'm not sure.
It's like the song after Everyone's a Winner on that album. But it's just a goofy song about, you know, I really want to get married. And I think it's just kind of funny for like a funk band to be concerned with that, I guess, because most of the time it's about like peacocking and picking up girls and, you know, living fast and free and dancing and expressing yourself, and that song's about like, I really want to get tied down. I see you and I just want to get married. And yeah, I thought about that song a lot while we were putting this one together. But this one is one of the earliest written Softcore Syndicate songs for sure.
I'm fascinated by, the sort of...
But when you whisper softly, sweetly, deeply into my ear,
Dick's lyrical preoccupations are just... You'd think it's kind of one note, right? But like... The endless permutations, and of course it is sort of one of the perennial subjects of human existence, but
yeah,
the way that Dick finds new and inventive ways to kind of write the same song over and over is
well, yeah,
hilarious.
I mean, they all kind of like fit. They all fit in like one or two sort of storylines, but I think the challenge, of course, is to like make each one distinctive in some way. You know, like Let's Get Physical, that's about, you know, a doctor having sex, whereas like I don't know, whereas like, oh yeah, Let's Get Busy is about a businessman having sex.
There you go.
So two different, sides of the same mountain.
Yeah. Both of the occupations.
Both of them. Well, and also in High Times 2, Dirty Dick's given his full title, which is Esquire. So as you can tell, Dirty Dick, I think, is a lawyer by trade. Maybe it's just elaborate role play or something for him. I can only speculate.
Right.
And I don't know if you've listened to the Angle of the Dangle EP I put out last year. The original instrumental version of this song is on that. So, and that's done in a much more jovial late 70s, early 80s funk and roll style.
I gotta say, for as square as I can maybe be in some facets of my life, I strongly prefer the vocal versions of the Softcore Syndicate stuff. I don't know. That's just interesting. It's part of the whole gestalt for me. And I mean, obviously the instrumentals are great. We'll talk more about them next week, but I just want the full experience, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, they're of course arranged with the vocals at the forefront, so it's hard to take them out. But I don't know, you just can't play them anywhere you go.
That's true. Yeah,
the lyrics can be a little invasive in many ways.
Right. I'm mostly having a headphone listening experience when.
You wouldn't want to cue this up at Thanksgiving hangs,
No, or at the open floor plan office. Yeah.
No, just playing it out your phone in the reception office.
Well, listeners, Softcore Syndicate's All of My Everything and a Whole Nother Inch comes out on Friday, right? At lovecraft.bandcamp.com.
Well, just a correction. The softcore instrumentals come out on Friday the 17th. And then the full release, and I do mean full, comes out on 4/20, man.
Right.
Blaze it, dude.
Right. So we're bracketing the weekend. Got it.
Yes.
It is the 14th as our listeners are reckoning time, I believe.
I figured...
Instrumentals Friday, full version Monday, April 20th. Everybody enjoy that. We'll be back on Tuesday the 21st with the rest of the album. And thanks for listening to Dat Fury Radio.